So welcome to video 1, an introductory video discussing the logistics of this course B05, or an introduction to R, where outlining just briefly the instruction material and how things will work here. So what this video will cover is learning resources, our timetable, the learning outcomes and aims of this module. In other videos 2 to 8, we'll talk about the background and the theory behind why to learn to code to or for data management, how to set it up, and the rest. Note that these initial instruction videos are discussing mainly the theory and the concepts that are relevant for this module, and then there's demonstration videos that will discuss the details of actually writing code. Note that if you haven't already, please join the Omics Learning Teams group. You can join this code and you should be able to look it up on Teams, add in the code here and join it there. Do contact me with questions for topics that we didn't cover directly inside this course if you cannot find another relevant resource. Note also, if you're putting questions in Teams, to put an appropriate hashtag beside it so I know to which course your query relates. Our plan for this course is that you should try to view this material in these days before the first lab on Tuesday the 6th, and take that time. Some of you will have done the course in Linux before, where you'll be quite busy, and therefore the hours allocated here are merely notional instruction learning hours, which would take you to understand all aspects of introductory Linux if you're starting from completely if you're completely new to it. For many of you, that won't be the case, or you may want to take this course over a series of days, weeks, months, even years, as you get more used to it. The key things to attend are these labs. So you have time to try the material there yourself on Monday at your own pace, in your own time. You can put queries to me on Teams. Then we have a lab at 2 to 4, all in the Playwright conference room. Same on Wednesday, 2 to 4. Thursday, you've got a chance for more practice, and then Friday from 2 to 4 again. On Monday, we have the final lab where we'll catch up on the key aspects. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much time it would take to go through many aspects of this course properly. And that's just to give you time to think about how you can actually apply what you learned to your own research. And that's where it's aimed at, to improve your capacity to do research, to understand your data. So you really need to think about what's useful for you here. And most importantly, what we're going to do is not bite off more than we can chew. We're going to take things step by step and build up the required knowledge before moving on to the next stage. There's many ways of approaching R, and there's many resources associated with it as well. Avril Coughlin has an excellent book here on an introduction to R for bioinformatics. There's the Swirl learning tutorials, which we'll use extensively. There's a short kind of brief outline of R here. There's a longer one by Paradise's Introduction to R. The Carpentry's R tutorials are really good resources as well and are very detailed. There's more of an overview behind why you want to learn to code with R in Nature before. And there's other resources that are listed here as well. So together, between these resources here, the labs, and the other ones flagged here on the slide, you should be able to achieve your aims, which are to learn basic or data structures like variables, data types, and inbuilt functions, to read data in and out of R, and to learn the basics of data manipulation, including things like conditional statements, loops, and so on. That means by the end of this course, you should be able to write code to use existing functions inbuilt in R, read data in and out, and perform basic data queries, say searching for your data or trying to find a particular pattern to match. How you digest this information is up to you, but I would suggest to think about your long-term learning and your documentation of that in terms of an e-portfolio, and that you wanted to keep track of the coding files that you develop. And hopefully you'll have a repository soon at the Institute to do that. In the meantime, you should try to record your own work very carefully as you go along. We'll mainly use our RMD files for Studio, but there's other ways of recording information as well. Just remember something that works for you, and that's a long-term resource. Many people use GitHub in the bioinformatics community, and that can be a way of just storing code as you go along. It doesn't have to be fantastic. Most people just use it as a kind of a personal repository. So that kind of concludes this video. Please see the second video for more information on why we want to learn R.